being in this relationship is not going to help me with that. It's just going to mess up my life, because if I continue being in this state that I'm in, then I'm never gonna be able to achieve the things that I want to achieve. Hello everybody, my name is Togo. Thank you so much for stopping by. Today we are talking about something a little bit different, but something that I really felt obliged to share. I wanted to share my experience in the hopes that it can or might help somebody out there, because boy, I needed some help. So I'm going to be sharing with you my experience on how I came to realize that an unhealthy relationship can really poison many different areas of your life without you even realizing it, and how you can recognize when that happens, and what you can do to get yourself out of it, and also what you can do to never find yourself in such a situation. So hopefully this can be helpful to somebody out there. So I'm going to start with a bit of a background on what I went through and what I did to try and get myself out of that situation. Alright, getting into a relationship, I don't think that there's ever anyone who enters into a relationship with the thought that this relationship is going to be unhealthy, it's going to be toxic and all of that. So I don't think that there's anyone really who does that. When we enter into relationships, we are hoping for the best. We are hoping that it's going to add value into our lives, it's going to add to our happiness. I'm not saying that a relationship or the person that you are with is responsible for your happiness. That's not at all what I'm saying. You are responsible for your own happiness, you are responsible for your own healing and all of that, so that when you enter into a relationship, you are a better version of yourself, someone who can add value into someone else's life, because relationships are not all about what you can get, but they are also about what you can give, what you can add into the person's life. So I'm not saying that the person that you are with is responsible for your happiness. However, the person that you are with is supposed to add into your happiness. When you are in a relationship that is taking away from your happiness, that's the first sign of an unhealthy relationship, really. So sharing a bit of my experience, I was in this relationship where I had known this person for quite some time. So I decided that, okay, I'm going to rekindle that relationship, because this person came to me and suggested that we rekindle this relationship with the idea that we are not just playing around. We want to, or he wants to, make this thing into a serious thing. So a committed relationship. I'm not going to go into all the details in terms of what went on in the relationship. However, what I want to say is that when we agreed to enter into this relationship, we both had the understanding, or at least I had the understanding, based on the discussions and the conversations that we had, that we are trying to build something serious. We are not trying to waste each other's time here. So we had a lot of discussions and a lot of conversations, and I thought that I asked all the right questions that would make me, or that would give me an indication of where this person was at mentally and what was his intention with all of this. So I thought I had the answers. I thought, all right, let's give it a shot. Let us then see where this goes, with the intention that we are really trying to build something serious, something long term. So I felt like immediately when I said, all right, let's give it a shot, this person then, I think that they took that as an indication that, all right, now I have this person, I can just relax. Which for me was very strange, because when you are trying to build something, you can't really relax, in a sense that you have to invest something in this relationship, in this thing that you are trying to build. You have to invest your time, you have to communicate, you have to do all of these things. I'm not an unreasonable person. We are grown, we have our lives, we have jobs, we have all these other responsibilities. So I'm not an unreasonable person, and I did not expect that all his time must be invested in this thing that we are trying to build. But at least I expected that some of his time at least will be invested in this thing that we are trying to build. However, as time went on, months went by, I came to realize that that is not really happening. There was not there was nothing that was saying to me, I'm trying to build something here with you. I'm investing something in this thing because it's important to me. I felt like I was the only one that was always trying to initiate communication, trying to initiate, everything really. And I felt that right from the beginning, right from the moment when I said, all right, let's give it a go, which to me was very strange and was very confusing, to say the least. It was very confusing as to, okay, why did you come to me? Why did we have all these conversations? Why did we talk about all of these things? And then all of a sudden it's like, what are we doing then? And another thing that I must mention is that this was a long distance thing, which made things even more complicated, because I feel like if you are not here with me physically, or if we are not together physically most of the time, then we are supposed to be doing everything possible to make sure that we build and maintain that emotional connection. And how do you do that if you don't communicate, if you don't invest your time, if you don't really do anything? My thing was, we should be doing everything then to try and build that strong emotional connection. If we have a shot at making this work, if we have a shot of making this really something serious, like we had discussed. So I kept on being the one who was trying to initiate communication, trying to initiate anything that will make us to build this thing, to grow this thing, to grow that connection. And after time went on, that started to take a toll on me. I started to view some things that were not happening, or some things that he was not doing, as a reflection on my worth and my value. And that started messing up with my mental, really, because I thought to myself, okay, it means that now I'm not worth any of his time, I'm not worth any of his effort, I'm just not worth the things that I really desire in this relationship, because he is not giving me those things. It must mean that it's me that is not worth those things. He must not find me important enough. He must not find this relationship important enough. So that really messed with my mental health. It really messed with my emotional health. As much as I thought I was a strong person, and as much as I thought that I had grown so much, because I'm the type of a person that finds it really important to improve myself, to really try by all means every single day to become a better version of myself than I was yesterday. So I spend a lot of time trying to know myself, trying to improve the areas of myself that I feel like they need improvement, because we all have our weaknesses that if we want to grow, we really need to look into our lives, into ourselves, and really have honest conversations with ourselves and identify those things that we want to improve about ourselves. So I know that I also had things that I needed to work on in order to improve myself, in order to be a better version of myself, that I can add value into this relationship. So I try to think to myself, maybe I need to be a little bit more patient, maybe I need to be a little bit more understanding and all of that. And I did that. But as time went on, that started to feel like this thing was draining me, because I kept on giving and giving and giving, but I was not getting anything in return. And I felt that physically, I felt that emotionally, mentally, I felt drained. I really felt drained. And like I'm saying, I really started to feel bad. I had so many different emotions running through my mind. I was angry, I was confused, I was like, why come into my life and just disrupt my life, whilst you know that you don't really intend on doing all the things that you've been saying that you are intending to do, or that you want to do. Because if you want to do something, it shows. Honestly, it shows. If something is important enough to you, you put effort into growing that thing, nurturing that thing. So I had a lot of different emotions. I was drained, I was exhausted, I was tired, I was angry, I was hurt, I was all of these things, and I went into a depression. Honestly speaking, I went into a depression. I was sad, I was crying all the time, And being the type of person that I am, I have so many different things that are going on in my life. I have a lot on my plate as well, so I always have something that I need to do. And being the person that I am, that is ambitious and always wants a better life, always wants to live a better life, I know that if I want to do that, I need to work. There are certain things that I need to do. And while I was in that state of depression, I found it really, really difficult to do the things that I knew that I needed to be doing, because I have goals that I need to achieve on a daily basis. I have tasks and things that I need to achieve on a daily basis. So when I was in that state, because of this relationship that was really draining me, that was taking everything away from me and not giving me anything in return, then I was in that state. I really found it difficult to focus, to do anything really that I needed to do. I'm the type of a person who enjoys working out, especially in the early hours of the morning. I really enjoy the time just to go out for a walk or a light jog, just to have that moment to myself. It provides me with so much mental clarity. It provides me with so much energy. I'm able to go on with my day and tackle all the things that I need to do. And while I was in that state, I even found it difficult to do. I found it difficult to just get out of bed and just go out and take a walk, something that I really, really enjoyed. But when I was in that state, things that I find enjoyable, they were no longer enjoyable. I was unmotivated, I was uninspired, I was just so much consumed with all these feelings and all these emotions that I was feeling, asking myself different questions. What is going on? What is all of this? It just disrupted my life. It just disrupted my balance, my stability, my emotional stability. It just messed up a lot of things. And then in that way, all areas of my life suffered really. My physical health, it suffered. I wasn't working out, I wasn't exercising, I wasn't conscious about the things that I was eating, the things that I was putting in my body. I just did not have a care in the world. I just ate whatever. I was not motivated to cook healthy meals. I was just not motivated. And when it comes to work, it was a mess. I was not doing the things that I was supposed to be doing because of the mental and the emotional state that I was in. All because of this relationship that turned out to be very unhealthy for me. It's really important to know yourself. I'm somebody that spends a lot of time on my own. I'm someone that spends a lot of time with myself, getting to know myself, getting to know the things that I want for my life, the type of life that I want to live, the type of a person that I want to become, that I have to work on every single day in order to become the type of a person, the type of a woman that I want to become. So I know myself quite well, and I know the things that are not aligned with the path that I want to be on in my life. So when I was in that state, there came a point where I had really had to sit down and have a conversation with myself and ask myself, what are you getting from this so-called relationship? What are you getting? You're not getting any support, really. You are not getting anything. This person is not here physically. They are not here mentally. They are not even here for you financially. I was just not getting anything, really. I really had to be honest with myself. I really had to accept things for what they really were at that time, and not really have this thing in my mind to say, but things could be this, things could be that. I needed to get out of that and accept things for what they were. At the end of the day, you cannot be in a relationship by yourself. If you are trying to build something, both people that are in a relationship, they should have the same understanding. They should put in effort. They should realize that in order to build something, you have to invest something. Things are not just going to happen automatically. Think of it this way. If, let's say, you are trying to move a couch from point A to point B, if you are trying to move the couch by yourself, you're going to spend a lot of time, a lot of energy really, trying to move the couch by yourself. You can move it, but the pace is going to be very slow. You're going to exert so much energy and so much effort into trying to move the couch. But if there were two people trying to move the couch, they are still investing energy, they are still investing time in moving that couch. However, the time and the energy that's going to be invested, because both people come together with the understanding that we are investing into this thing because we are trying to move it from this point to the next level. So the time and the energy that you are going to spend there trying to move that couch, the both of you, is going to be something totally different compared to if you are trying to move the couch by yourself. If two people come together with the same understanding, with the same commitment, things become a lot easier, things become a lot more, effortless, really. Things become really tricky and toxic, really, when you feel like you are the only one contributing into that relationship. So at the end of the day, like I'm saying, I had to really sit down with myself and, be honest with myself and accept things for what they were. As difficult as it was, as painful as it was, but I had to accept that this is not healthy for me. I had to accept that it's not working out. I believe that a relationship should propel you. The person that you are with should be so supportive of your dreams. They should be motivating you, not that you should rely on this person for all of those things. You should be able to do all those things for yourself. However, if you are in a relationship, that person should be helping you. Otherwise, what's the point? Then you can just be by yourself. Otherwise, why spend all this time and energy in a relationship that is not giving you anything in return? So I had to ask myself, is being in this relationship going to help you to achieve the things that you want to achieve in your life? The answer was no, it's not, because I'm in a depression now. I can't do the things that I needed to do. I just need to move on. I need to let go of this whole situation and live my life the way that I was before, and even better, So because I knew myself, because I knew the path that I was on, I knew the future that I'm looking at, I knew the life that I want to live, and I know the things that I need to be doing in order to live that life, I came to realize that being in this relationship is not going to help me with that. It's just going to mess up my life, because if I continue being in this state that I'm in, then I'm never going to be able to achieve the things that I want to achieve. So that's why I said to myself, I need to let go. I need to move on, as difficult as it was, because you love this person. You want to make things work. You have even ideas in your head of the life that you could have together in the future. You've had all those thoughts in your mind. So I had to let go of all of that. I had to choose myself, and I had to choose, the life that I want for myself. So that is what I did to then get out of that situation. As difficult as it was, I had to make a decision. I thought to myself, this is the standard, this is what I want for myself, this is the life that I want, and I was willing to let go of the thing that I was really excited about. But at the end of the day, it was what it was, or it is what it is. I had to let go of all of that because I had to choose the life that I wanted to live, because I knew that it's up to me and no one else. If I want to have that peace and serenity and happiness in my life, then I don't need people around me that are going to kill that are going to mess with that. Because I thought to myself, if it's taking away, if it's costing me my peace, my happiness, it's too expensive. It's becoming too expensive. It's costing me a lot, because those are the things that are extremely important to me. It was not easy, because like I'm saying, if something is important to you, it's not easy to let it go. It's like grief. You are grieving so many things. You are grieving the life that you had envisioned in your mind. You are grieving the loss of this person that has become so important to you. It's not easy. And I'm not saying that the moment you make that decision to let go, you're just gonna be able to just cut all ties. It doesn't work like that. It's a process, but you have to accept the fact that it's going to hurt. you're going to cry about it, you're going to, ask yourself so many questions, you're going to ask yourself, did you even do the right thing? But I promise you, it is the right thing. As time goes on, you're going to realize that you really did the right thing for yourself, for your mental health, for your overall health in general. You really don't need to be in a toxic relationship, in an unhealthy relationship. Now I really can't talk. My nose is so blocked, I really can hardly speak, but I'm going to continue. Alright, we always think that, toxic relationships, there has to be big things that are happening in order for it to become toxic, but no. The moment it messes up with your mental health, it's toxic. It's toxic to your body, it's toxic to your mind, it's toxic. So you really need to be careful about allowing certain things in your life. And I also had to take responsibility for my part, or the part that I played in the state of mind that I was in, because I allowed it to go on for as long as it did go on. I could have removed myself earlier on when I was starting to experience those things, but I stayed for as long as I did, and the effects of it became deeper because I stayed for longer. So that's the part that I played, that I had to take responsibility for. And I said to myself, I'm the only one who can get myself out of this situation. So I did. I got myself out. I told myself, this is it. I'm just going to let go of everything. As difficult as it was, but it's the right thing to do. It was the right thing to do for myself. And even now, I still have days where I feel angry, I feel hurt, but I know that each day that goes by, it becomes easier and easier and easier. And eventually, you do forget. Eventually, you do get over it. You do find yourself again, because I felt like I really did lose myself. So eventually, you will find yourself again. So there is hope at the end of the day. But what I want you to understand is that it's not going to be easy. You're going to cry about it. You're going to feel sad. You're going to feel depressed. You're going to go through all those stages of grief, because it is grief. You are losing something that was important to you. So you're going to go through all those stages, but at the end of the day, you are going to get over it and heal. And hopefully you can find a better relationship, because as human beings, we are social beings. There's nothing wrong with having that desire to be in a relationship and to build something with a particular individual. However, if that doesn't happen again, it's really not worth it to stay in a relationship that is not adding value to your life. Going back to what you can do to never find yourself in such a situation. The thing that helped me the most, and the thing that can help you the most, is knowing yourself. Know your worth. Know that you are worthy of all the things that you desire. You are worthy of the things that you wish for your life, you wish for yourself. And know the things that you want for yourself. Know the life that you want to live, so that anything that is not aligned with that, you can early on recognize it and then you remove it from your life, so that you don't really spend time on things that are really not aligned, or that are not in line with the type of a person that you are, the type of a life that you want to live. So know yourself, spend time with yourself, really ask yourself all those questions. What is it that I want? Who do I want to become? What are the things that are important to me? What are my deal breakers when it comes to relationships? So that you don't find yourself being, swallowed by this thing that you don't even know what is happening, where you don't even recognize yourself anymore. Because if you know yourself, then you recognize yourself. But if you don't know all of that, it can be so easy to be swallowed by a toxic or an unhealthy relationship, because you don't really know yourself. If you know yourself, you know your limits. You know the things that you can tolerate. You know the things that are deal breakers. And when those things come up, when you spot those deal breakers or those red flags, don't ignore them. For example, if you know that you want somebody that prioritizes communication in their relationship. And when you can see that that is not happening, and you bring it up to say, I'm not really happy about this. This is what I need for me to feel healthy and safe and secure in this relationship. This is what I need. If that person is not really willing to put effort into giving you what you need in that relationship, then it's never going to work. Right from the beginning, you need to recognize that it's never going to work. Other things are going to happen. You are not going to feel like you are being prioritized. You're not going to get, the things that you need in a relationship. So right from the beginning, don't think that it's going to get better, because it's not. If a person values you, if you are important to a person, you will say yes. Don't make excuses and think, oh, it's because he's so busy. It's because he's got so much on his plate. No, we are all busy. We all have so much on our plates, but we make time for the things that are important. If he's so busy with work or, his business or whatever he's busy with, he's busy with those things because he's making time for those things. Why? Because they're important. So if this relationship is also important, then he's going to make time for it. It's as simple as that. It doesn't mean that they are a bad person, or that person, is a horrible, horrible human being. But it just means that they are incapable of, being the type of a partner that you need in a relationship. And don't ever make the mistake of confusing their failure or their inconsistency or whatever it is that they are doing or not doing. Don't let that be a reflection on your worth. No, it's just him failing to do the things that he said he will do. It has nothing to do with you. It has everything to do with him not being a reliable person. It has everything to do with that. It has nothing to do with whether you are worthy of that. Don't make that mistake. It has nothing to do with you. Those are the things that you can do for yourself, so that you don't find yourself in that situation where you are just swallowed by this unhealthy, toxic relationship. Know yourself, know your standards, know your values, and don't compromise. If you have certain standards, if you have certain boundaries, if you have certain deal breakers, then stick to those. Don't compromise on that, because it's going to mess with your happiness, with your mental health, with your peace in general. And if it messes with those things, it's become too expensive. Don't compromise on those things. So those are the things that I wanted to share with somebody out there. If I can help just one person with my experience, then I will know for a fact that what I went through was for a reason, so that I can help somebody else out there. If you found this video to be helpful, please do give it a thumbs up, and also share it with whoever you might think might need something like this. And thank you so much once again for watching, and I will see you on the next video. Bye.